I'm still puzzled as to why there is 40 volts across the 35 volt filament of the 35W42 tube. Now, pin 6, which is part of that string, goes to the plate of the circuit, and the plate then goes out through load by the cathode. So if the load is off, it's going to upset the voltage on the whole string. So what I wanted to do was to disconnect the load, or pin 7, I believe. And that way the tube would not be supplying current to anything. This radio has a lot of bad capacitors in it, and I know they're probably drawing current like crazy. Then measure the string and see if the string comes up with any kind of a reasonable filament voltages. Now, pulling anything loose from this printed circuit board is difficult because every trace wants to lift off the board before you can even reach the heat to make a disconnection. And the load resistor is in a hard to get to place. Anyhow, I did break the circuit board when I tried, or the circuit trace. But I am ready now to set up, turn this thing on, and check the voltages with no load other than whatever the tube might draw, and reread filament voltages. I'm on AC, and I am at the 200 scale, and I'm going to reach over and turn this on. Shouldn't be any connection to the load, and the tubes are lighting, and I want to give it a chance to warm up and read between terminals 3 and 4, and that would be the 35W4 filament voltage. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm reading 7.5 volts. So I must be doing something wrong, because you know that isn't what it's supposed to be. 3 and 4, if I was reading, how about 3 and 4 instead of, and look at there, with no load on the tube, I've got 35.9 volts across the 35W4. So one more time, by putting the meter where it can go into the scale, I have 36.1 volts. It's a lot closer than 40. Then between 4 and 6, I have 7.9, which is the voltage that you probably put the pilot light under, if that was the case. Now let's go over to the 50C5, which is the audio output, and all we're feeding here is 3 and 4, and we're looking at voltage. And of course we should get 50 volts. That's what we're looking for. And these traces, and I got 47.5, 47.6. Come over to the 12AV6, trying not to block the meter. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 3 and 4. We got 12 volts, 12.9. So we're closer to the string. We're still not exactly. I don't understand why we wouldn't have the perfect voltage. Maybe the meter's off. Or maybe the voltage in the line is off. Then we're going to take the IF amp and go 1, 2, 3, and 4. And it's a shame I can't not remember. Whoop, it slipped off of there, and that's the biggest fear, pushing down on here, slipping it shortened. 12.7. And then the mixer oscillator, and that's 11.6. I got it again, close to 12 volts. So the voltages are better. I can't check any B plus because of course we don't have B plus. We may have it, but we're going to have it not going to the set. Go over to 200 volts DC. Go between the ground of the capacitor, which is over here, and pin 7, and our B. Whoop! It moved the whole terminal strip. So I'm going to turn it off, because if I don't, if there is anything shorts to the next terminal over, we're going to burn everything up. And I just can't see there. It's the terminal. The strips on this board are just so bad. They come off of it so easily that it's already getting out of hand. So experimenting with this is close to destroying it, which I don't want to do.